Welcome back, guys, to the PML. I'm here, Fawn, and talk to you guys about the North American bracket. We're all done with Europe, everything's said and done, but I am not here alone. I'm back here with Nick. We're not in the caster booth anymore. We're on the desk. It's so nice for you guys to be joining us once again. I'm interested to see this Sanguine versus Hype Unit battle. Hype Unit has been doing
Big boys.
pretty well. They've been doing pretty well this PML split.
Yeah, both solid teams here, 1 and 2 going at it pretty much head-to-head here in North America once again to kind of figure out who's going to be reigning as king. A lot of roster changes with both Europe and North America. So you look to these sort of second round matchups where these teams meet each other for the second time in the phase as, all right, is this solid? Is this the way things are going to be for the remainder of this phase? Have these changes solidified or taken shape in any different type of way where they were initially? So you're looking at Hype Unit, you're looking at Sanguine. Obviously, you want Sanguine to be able to come out on top of this one today as they lost their last meeting with Hype Unit.
Yeah, I agree. We already see at the top of the leaderboards there, Hype Unit with a 4-0 lead, Sanguine with the 3-1. The top two teams in the PML currently, even though there are only 4 of them, we do see the two of these guys will be fighting, and I'm really excited to see what they have in store for us because of Hype Unit's previous performances.
Yeah, Hype Unit again, top squad here. We're about ready to get into this one. They have 2 ex-PPL players,
right.
Dethroner and Payan, but he's been playing on his alternate account because something happened with his main account, so he's been playing on this Grace account. But don't worry, that is Payan. I think he still wants everyone to know that he is Payan. He still wants everyone to, have that brand equity, I guess, with the account. So looking forward to Hype Unit, absolutely. What can they bring to the table today? We're about to get into the map bans and start getting a real look at this set. And again, do not have the picks and bans for today's minor league, so we will be just throwing straight kind of down into the casters. But before we get there, got some map bans.
Shadow Desert Timber Mill, followed by Frog Isle and Ascension Peak. I'm not going to pretty much say necessarily standard bans, but they're maps you don't see as often for sure. People don't really want to deal with some of these maps, whether they be too wide, whether they just be a little bit hard to try and gain momentum or control on, but these maps are now off of the board, and it's going to be a lot simpler for these teams to try and fight each other and pretty much bank on their power picks in terms of maps.
Definitely. So these aren't any Jaguar Falls, any Bright Marshes, things like that. But they're not exactly end of the spectrum either in like a timber mill or an ice mines or a fish market maybe. These are more somewhere in the middle. These are more niche where, this could be somewhere where you just really don't like to play. Kind of the newer maps as well. Ascension Peak is up there and in terms of its freshness, but Ice Mines will be the first one of this best of 5.
Yeah, that is for sure. I'm interested just on the fact that we already saw an Ice Mines before, but to start off on Ice Mines, normally you mentioned it before when we were on cast about how you normally try and pick Ice Mines, try and slow down momentum, try and find your footing or your ability to be able to fight back against an opposing team. But in this case, we're just going all out. I feel like this is like sort of like a momentum battle that they're fighting for, because Ice Mines is definitely like a tug of war. It's really hard to fight back.
Yeah, this is it, man. And we've had this conversation a couple times today, but Ice Mines is officially now like teams, best foot forward in some cases.
Right.
It's kind of a cut and dry. People have sort of started to figure it out. You see more of the, these blasters, area control, things like that. Expect to see that Drogos, but expect to see him played in combustible, not like the worm jets we just saw in Bright Marsh.
Right, exactly. You'll see probably a little bit of different picks here and there in terms of Ice Mines, but we are ready to throw it down to the casters. Once again, sorry for no picks and pans, guys, but take it away, you guys.
Well, here we go into Ice Mines, and what I think will be one of the most interesting sets that we have today. Hype Unit and Sanguine, myself, Gormizer, and standing right next to me is going to be Kresnik as we come through. I mean, this is an interesting map to start this kind of set on as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe the teams just want to make it grindy, or they just want to be able to grind them through the duster. Yeah, this is a bit of that grudge match, honestly, coming in, I feel. These teams definitely have a little bit of bad blood between them, so being able to set... Wait a minute. Hold the phone.
Yeah, that's Stigma.
Yeah, I almost forgot that we were casting Stigma today. Kinessa on Ice Mines.
Literally all I could think was I saw the Kinessa icon and I was like, what is going on? And then I saw Stigma and I'm like, right.
I was looking at the Payan BK and I was thinking, oh, maybe it's kind of like a high sort of BM towards Neo, taking the BK away from him that early on ice. But BK's also good on ice, but yeah, Stigma Kinessa still here, still going to apply a little bit of pressure, but just need to be able to get some picks while hiding from that sightline.
And I guess this is kind of the biggest question when you look at it. Like, I mean, Victor obviously is going to be one of the primary targets in the cross window. The same thing for Grover. Does Kinessa bring a lot to shut them down? Is it really just going to be the damage, or is the grenade, the fact that, Edgem can kind of play these angles differently, going to hurt Stigma more than help?
I think it can hurt Stigma more. It really comes down to Stigma's going to punish when the team makes a mistake. That's really what it's going to be. It's going to be if they're careless, Stigma will do a lot. So, he forces an R off the point. That is something. Any backline would have been able to do that. Now, he's just going to be there to get that immediate burst on someone who overextends, but first one overextends going to be Neo, caught out by Edge there on the side, and Headhunter popped in very close range here by Stigma.
And, well, maybe it gets a little bit too close there. Edgem's going to be able to get a grenade in and burn him down. That's a double kill here for the Victor as he's burned down all 3 members here. Pan finally picking up someone else as Hype Unit take control and maintain control of that objective. No deaths for them throughout the first half of this round, and now they get to start the downward slope that is the push.
I do actually like the BK pick a little bit more now that I'm seeing it's into the Kinessa. They won't really be able to shove him quite as much, and I feel like that is a place that BK kind of falls apart in. Just getting walked at. You're laughing at the Grumpy Head taunt.
I like the Grumpy
good.
Head taunt, but I feel like I've not seen it combined with this skin specifically, where you literally just become a snowman.
The worst is Love King. With the Love Machine.
Oh, yeah.
With
Okay, yeah,
that
I can
face.
see that. That's nightmares.
Inflame actually got used there by Sangwon. I think they wanted to just regain some ground, and Hype Unit smartly just disengaged. They're out, completely negating the usefulness of that. So they're going to come back in, starting with a barrage here.
And a couple of, well, not really going to connect too much. No big damage thrown out there, but he's going to fire all 3, and that's going to open it up the door for Pan to come in, and he's dealing a lot of damage here to Neo. It's going to cause a lot of trouble. Poison going to take him down and cause a little bit more trouble in return. Hype Unit going to be locked away for right now. Edgem incredibly low in the backline. Dethroner taking a little bit too much damage. And between all of them, that's going to be the disengage. They might not even be able to make it out as clean as they want. A good wall from Dethroner gives them that space.
I think that is a little bit on Pan. I think he crossed a distance that no one else can cross. He used the poppy get over that gap. No one else can follow him there. He stays there. Don't think that's a bad play as long as you disengage at the end of it. He didn't disengage, stayed a little bit too long. Midnight means he doesn't know if his team's going to help him. Gets picked off really quick by Poison. And this is a great angle for Kinessa. Down this big alley. Dethroner has to use the wall early to save him. Steady aim almost immediately kills Edgem, but able to kite away smart enough. And bad health on Hype Unit, but they're going to go in with a great
what a good grab!
Right out of the sky, Gore!
I mean, just being able to set it up like that's served on a silver platter. Here is Tay going to get taken down. Pan tries to go in, does end up getting the ult off, but does not find anything for his trouble. Stigma pops him down, and it's right back into this nice wide open area for the Kinessa. Wherever you want to get aggressive, if it's onto the side here, which T-Mac is feeling the brunt of it, they've even wrapped around a little bit to kind of corral them into the mid-fight. And with 20 seconds left, a little under now, it's not looking too great for Hype Unit trying to get overtime. No one is anywhere nearby. And so this looks like a good stall and a good tie for Sangwon.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be that classic Ice Mines 1-1. We almost went back to old Ice Mines when they were getting surrounded onto that midpoint. That's what the old Ice Mines zoning used to be. There was no other way out. You had to go through mid. Poison trapped in the jail, going to be able to get out thanks to the reset there. Now, looking at ultimates here, Sangwon, they have the Inflame, they have the Dome Shield. They're close to Midnight. Hype Unit have more aggressive ultimates, though. I mean, they can use the Assert Dominance, Seismic Crash, maybe combo Assert Dominance and Barrage, make some room. If they can get in and end the fight before Midnight's up, I don't think Sangwon's going to be able to take anything aggressive on this.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of pressure. I think actually maybe even more pressure on the Stigma this time around to have that impactful fight right at the beginning, which, I mean, Edgem, he's 4-0. He's been showcasing he knows exactly what he needs to do. He's almost gone down so many times this game, but he's played the angles appropriately, and along with, like you said, the Seismic Crash, could potentially just set himself up for a clean sweep of kills. A lot of pressure on Sangwon to kind of perform as they approach the mid-fight.
It's going to be really hard for Stigma, too, because think about Frogala, right? Ash just Assert Dominance across, ult into the window. Might be able to do that here, too. Looks almost uncontested on the left side. Stigma rattling a couple shots off on, but to mid, but slowing things down. They're just going to get cap time here. Edge still playing his cover well. Grover gets very low, but it's just super slow here. Barrage, though, they might be looking to engage something here.
And that was beautiful. I love the fact that Edgem pulls it out, comes through, and Stigma ready on the shot and waits to make sure he comes through. You were looking for the barrage, but it's going to get melted down in the process. Now they're going to get aggressive, Assert Dominance on the side, trying to find a little bit. But Khan, he loves playing these corners just as much as Tay does and is looking for the right toss. Even if he doesn't get it, he's got his team right behind him. They're going to burn him down, and now it's going to be 42 and rising here for Sangwon on the point.
Headhunter here used though, so the retake might be a little easier for Hype Unit if they manage to get in. Tay so far off on this respawn, though. It's going to be tough for them to get in. Poison almost going down to the stickies from Payan, but they're able to get it. Great overpower, but saved by Payan. Still just a 1-for-1. Now Hype Unit might have a chance to touch this point.
Doing whatever they can to throw her just around the corner. Here's the King Bomb, going to be rolling up and rolling through, looking for this. Kinessa going to be able to find the stun. A couple of bombs afterward. That melts down Stigma. Now the objective control is going to be shifting. There's only so much a Barry can do under this much duress. It's 99%, but stalled out here as Hype Unit restake their claim on the midpoint.
That was a very bold King Bomb by Payan. Just kind of in the open, no one able to shoot at him. That's what you get when you have such inconsistent damage on Sanguine. Maybe not able to punish that kind of play. And Count coming up here through the window, but I think the damage is too much. Yeah, Neo smartly shouting to back off. Poison does get the touch in the back, does immediately go down. So now any attempt here I think would be a suicide run by Sanguine.
Yeah, a couple of good bombs there, not only to take down Poison, but also get some damage onto, well, Neo, now onto Stigma, now onto Vayne, as they're just rolling it forward one after one. The domino effect is in full effect here as Hype Unit not only capture that objective, they get themselves the payload, but this is a very clean start compared to last round.
For sure, especially since Payan now won't have the opportunity, I think, to go that far. He'll have his tanks with him. He does already. Tay already over there on the side, making room for Payan to be able to get that corner pressure. No one really able to contest him. And Edge here, too. This is